Hello everyone. In this session, we are going to discuss on prospecting. So, what exactly prospecting? So, you learned about a company. You learned about the incorporation of the company. Then you learned about you know what are the advantage of incorporation. Everything, right? The advantage of incorporation. Then the promoter. So next is we are going to learn about prospectus. Okay, prospectus. So what is a prospectus? A prospectus is a document in writing. Okay, so it will give all the details of the company. Okay, the company share value, right? Everything. All right. So after the incorporation of the company, it can raise necessary finance for the conduct of the business by issuing securities or what we call as shares and debentures. So there they can go for what exactly called as offer. So after a company registration of a company, a public limited company can go for offering the shares. So have an example for a private limited company also, they can offer shares once once uh, the company is formed, and they can offer shares to internal members. So there are 200 internal members, maximum of 200 internal members. You can make a document in writing like a prospectus about the company's future, uh, you know the future things and all. I mean, like a prospectus means what exactly? Future company's future projects, everything, the share value, etc. So we need a document in writing, or document in writing in the sense of nowadays it is printed format. Okay, with a graphics visualization, everything. So a public company may issue securities to public through prospectus known as public offer. Public offer. So this is a document which help the public and which help the company to communicate with the general public regarding their future plans. Okay, so that what happens, the general public will understand about the memorandum of association, understand about the company's operations, and if there is a chance, definitely they will take accept the public offer and they will subscribe the shares. So it is what exactly a document through private placements or through a right issue or a bonus issue. So a private company may issue security by way of a right issues on a bonus issues through private placements. That means internally 200 members. All right. So a public company actually can invite a public company can one second a public company can invite the general public to subscribe the shares, right? So the shares as well as the debentures through prospectus. So prospectus is what exactly? Prospectus is a communicating instrument. Prospectus is a communicating instrument. So prospectus will help the general public to know about the company's share values. Okay, the future products of the company. Okay, so etc. So that is called as a prospectus. Okay, so a prospectus is a document issued by a public company in order to invite the public to make offer. for shares and debentures of the company. A private company cannot issue prospectus to invite the public to the subscribe its shares or debentures, but a private company can distribute the prospectus to the internal members. How many? Maximum of 200. So a prospectus inviting the public to make offers for its shares or debentures is a window through which a proposed investors can look into the soundness of a company. So definitely it is a marketing document also. So because it communicates about the company's future, right? So it is a what? It is a window, right? It is a window to see what exactly the company is, to understand what exactly the company is. All right. So that is what exactly prospectus. So prospectus is a window for the investors can look into the soundness of a company. Look into the soundness of a company. So according to section 270, according to section 270 of Companies Act 2013 defines the term prospectus. So section 270 of Companies Act 2013 defines prospectus. So prospectus, as per the company law, prospectus is any document described or issued as a prospectus or any notice or a circular, advertisement or other document inviting offers from the public. So for the subscription or purchase of any securities of a body corporate can be called as a prospectus. So it includes a red herring prospectus and a shelf prospectus. So what exactly a prospectus? It is a document in writing. It can be a notice. It can be a you know a circular. It can be an advertisement. Okay. So or it can be another document inviting whom? Inviting the public to subscribe the shares and debentures. All right. So what exactly a prospectus? It is a document in writing. It is a notice or a circular or advertisement or any other document inviting the public to subscribe the shares. All right. So so it includes a red herring prospectus and a shelf prospectus. So that I will teach you in due course. So every prospectus issued by a public company shall dated and signed by the directors and should have a certain information also. So it should be signed. Should be signed by the directors. Okay. And it should be well dated also of a prospectus of a public company. Okay, for public company. A public company. So what are the requisites inside the prospectus? One name and full description of a registered office of a company. Name and other particulars. Okay, name and other particulars of a company. Of a company. So, name, address, registered office of a company, then definitely company secretary is needed. So there is a provision recently added by Companies Act 2013 in its you know in its amendments. So company secretary is needed for a company. Only the company have a 10 crore turnover. Only the company having a 10 crore turnover. That's it. Then only the company need a company secretary. So, but as per theory, you have to learn the company have to give the company have to give their names, their address, registered office address, and the name of company secretary, chief financial officer, CFO, auditors details, and legal advisors details, and bank and underwriters details. That is called as a full particulars. Okay, full particulars of a company. Okay, but you need not want to go into that much of depth. You have to write it like a name and other particulars of a company. And next is date of opening and closing of the issues of what? Shares. Date of opening and closing of issue. Okay, and the third one is the separate bank account, a statement by the board of directors about separate bank account where all monies received out of the issues are to be transferred. So the bank account details, official bank account details. Okay, so next is actually a statement by the board of directors disclosing details of all monies utilized and utilized monies out of previous issues. If there is any previous issues occurred, definitely they have to show all the previous statement. Board of directors has to give the full details of all money and all utilized money received out of from the previous issue. Detail about the directors, auditors, bankers to the issue, and you know so it comes in this thing, the previous one, the fourth one, the capital structure of a company, the capital full details of capital structure. Capital structure of a company. All right. Full details of the capital structure of a company. Next is main objectives or objects of a public offer. Capital structure. Hope you know about what exactly capital structure. Capital company have a fixed capital. Okay, and variable capitals. So that capital structures has to be explained in the prospectus. So it will definitely give a idea about the soundness of a company. Next is main objects of a public offer. What is the main object of public offer? For capital formation, for increasing shares, okay, for increasing shareholders, etc. These are some of the reason why company will go for pooling of fund. For what purpose? Pooling of fund for certain reasons. maybe company is planning to diversification, so money is needed, so definitely they will issue shares. Recently LIC is issuing shares to their policy holders. So the objective is not to capitalize the fund. It is not the objective. It is like a to stay back the existing holders, retain the existing holders. So there are reasons for public offers. So main objectives of a public offer. All right. And main object and present business of the company and its location, schedule of implementation of the projects, everything. So the business details of the company, operating area. All right. So next is risk factor specific to the project. Risk factors. All right. Next is you know deadlines for completion of the projects, if any. Deadline of a project. Is there any litigation? That also they have to mention. Uh, any litigation? Litigation means pending cases. Okay. Litigation pending. It is called as litigation pending. A property is litigation pending. You cannot buy that property. Okay. Same like that. Is there any litigation? Is there any litigation? Definitely. We have to be very transparent. Or legal actions against the company. Or any punishments. Or any pending legal actions by government or government department or statutory bodies during the last 5 years. Okay, during the last 5 years. All right. So next is minimum subscription and amount payable by way of a premium. So minimum subscription. So have an example. Maybe my company is a juice making company, Tetra packet juice making company. My share value is 1 rupees, but minimum subscription is 100. So have to be mentioned about the minimum subscription. You cannot buy one share, 1 rupee. No, minimum is 100. Okay. Minimum subscription of shares, and definitely full detail of a directors. Directors particulars. So this is what exactly the you know the content of prospectus. See, the name and other particulars of the company, the date of opening and closing of issues, bank account details. Board of director has to give the full detail of all the monies and utilize monies of the previous issue, full detail of a capital structure of the company, then why the company is going for another public offer, the objectives and details of the company, operating area. Okay, if leather manufacturing, no, tetra juice that is called operating area. Then risk factors, other risk factors, you have to mention about the mutual funds are subject to market risk, something like that. So those things you have to mention very clearly. Deadline of a completion of a projects, if any, if they are working on certain projects, they have to mention it. Any litigation, pending litigation, punishments during the last 5 years have to mention. Then minimum subscription, Okay, details, the director's details as well. So this is the content of a prospectus. So a copy of the prospectus duly signed by directors. One second. A copy of the prospectus. Okay, a copy of prospectus should be duly signed by whom? By the director, every director. Okay, every directors or proposed directors. Proposed director, because if the company is not at started, I mean, like, it has commenced their business, but they have not yet decided their directors. So there is a proposed directors, they can, you know they can sign this particular, you know uh, prospectus. And definitely they have to give it to the register, deliver it to the register before its publication. So for publication, definitely the registrar has to approve this. So one of the one one criteria is also there. So on the face of prospectus, it should be mentioned that copy of it has been delivered to the registrar. Okay, so it should be delivered to registrar, and in each copy they have to mention. In each copy they have to mention approved by registrar of a company. Okay, so that is, it is indeed needed and it is mandatory. This, you know in each copy, in each copy, what what exactly, the it should be mentioned that, it should be mentioned that uh, this copy have been approved by the registrar of a company. So the prospectus should be issued within 90 days after the date on which a copy was delivered to the registrar of a registration. Okay, so if a prospectus is issued without a copy delivered to the registrar for registration, the company and every person is responsible for the issue of a prospectus. Definitely, the fine will be there. Okay, fine will be there. Okay, the company shall be punishable with fine which shall not be less than a 50,000 rupees, but which may extend to 3 lakh rupees. Okay, if you are not compelling, or if the company is not comply with all these procedures, that means a copy of the prospectus should be duly signed by the directors and proposed director, and that copy should be signed by the registrar, okay, of registration. And definitely in each copies you have to mention, or the company has to mention, it is approved by the registrar. If it is not done, definitely the company will go behind the bars, in the sense they will get a fine up to 50k to 3 lakh rupees. Okay, so this is the end of prospectus. All right, so hope you understood about what exactly prospectus is, right? What exactly prospectus is.